Welcome back to another edition of Baseball for Maniacs. This is a much more joyous episode than the last one we recorded. Jesus Luzardo and the Philadelphia Phillies are in agreement on a 5-year, $135 million contract extension. My immediate thoughts, absolutely pumped, stoked. Get me to opening day. Get me to Jesus Luzardo finishing top 5 in Cy Young voting, because that's exactly what he's going to do. But in all reality, this was one of the biggest decisions the Phillies had to make going into the season, because you had to weigh the risk. Jesus Luzardo does have back problems, right? He hasn't been able to put together back-to-back seasons of consistent innings. However, he has spoken of what the Philly doctors have done for him last year that led to his success, that led to him kind of getting over that back issue. And the Philadelphia Phillies have some of the best medical staff in all of Major League Baseball, to where that also lent into the decision. But the big risk was this. If Jesus Luzardo had a season that he had in 25 and 2026, and the Phillies let him hit the open market, you know how much money he would get? He would get at minimum $200 million. A lefty that is able to throw upwards of 99 miles per hour with that off-speed pitches to play off that. And the free agent class next year on the pitching side is, of course, highlighted by one Tarek Skubal. Jesus Luzardo is the second best pitcher. So I think that would have benefited his market, to where Tarek Skubal is going to get $500 million minimum, right? So there's only going to be a select few teams that are even in the bidding for him, because all these other teams can't afford it, right? So if you're looking to upgrade your starting pitching next offseason and Jesus Luzardo was available, you know how many suitors he would have, to where easy $200 million. So the risk is giving him 5 years, $135 million right now. If the back flares up, if the elbow flares up again, then obviously it can turn out to be a very bad deal. But in the sense of how much money the Philadelphia Phillies have, it's a calculated risk. It's a risk they had to make, because if he pitches to the caliber of 2025, where he had take out the 2 starts in Milwaukee and Toronto. I know we can't do that, but we're doing it for this point of the episode. He had a 3.03 ERA. He had 200 innings. He had over 200 strikeouts. That kind of pitcher, if you're only paying him $30 million a year, I think it's less than $30 million. It's less than $30 million, because 30 times 5 would be 150. So you're getting Jesus Luzardo for under $30 million AAV. What that does is, if he's the guy, if he can be the number 2 to Christopher Sanchez, because obviously next year we got Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, Andrew Painter, Aaron Nola, Taijuan Walker. But Zach Wheeler might not pitch after the 2027 season. There might not even be a 2027 season, to where they had to start looking for the future. Zach Wheeler's money comes off the books. Let's say he just retires after 2027. So they could still make some more moves, but they had to plan for the future. Obviously, we have Gage Wood coming up. They want to make him a starter, so he might fit into the plans. Andrew Painter, I think he's going to be good. I don't know if he's ever going to be great, but he fits into the plans, to where if you just start thinking about the 28, 29 Philadelphia Phillies, Sanchez, Luzardo, Andrew Painter, that is a very good starting point. And then once Wheeler comes off the books, you can make your money in free agency, to where I love this move. It's going to be we're just going to have to see how it plays out, but I don't think you can disagree with the move no matter what. Because obviously, if the back flares up or he has an elbow injury, it might look bad in the future, but you can only make moves in that given point in time, right? And I think the Phillies had to make this move. The potential upside of Jesus Luzardo is so unbelievable, because going into this offseason, right, Ranger Suarez was almost a lock not to come back, but you had a decision to make. And I think the Phillies made this decision midway through last year of who are they going to keep? Is it going to be Ranger Suarez, or is it going to be Jesus Luzardo, right? The thing about Ranger Suarez is I love him dearly, but he has not been able to stay healthy for a full season. Luzardo kind of fits that same mold of injury concern, but the thing about Jesus Luzardo is he's pitched 2 full years, 2023 and 2025. Ranger has never exceeded 155 innings. Jesus Luzardo has done it twice. And if you look at the deal you're making for the future, you have to look at what is he obviously going to do in the coming years. Ranger Suarez's stuff is ticking down in the sense of his velocity. I think his curveball's still there. His cutter's still there. He's still one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, especially a postseason riser. But in the sense of, if he's already ticking downwards of 90 miles per hour, and Jesus Luzardo is firing 99 miles per hour. Who are you going to make that extension to? Who are you going to bring back? Who has the more potential upside? I don't think it's any discussion is Jesus Luzardo. And you might say, well, Ranger Suarez is a playoff riser. I'll tell you damn what. So is Jesus Luzardo. What he did in Game 2 of the National League Division Series, he pitched phenomenal. I remember I was in the building for that. The offense sucked, right? To where every bottom of the inning it was a letdown. But then Jesus Luzardo comes in and he's ready to go. He gets the crowd going again. We were doing Jesus chants in the second deck. Granted, do not like blasphemy. There's only one Jesus, but it was just like he rose to the moment. And then let's go to Game 4. Coming out of the bullpen, he obviously has a tick in his velocity, has a tick in his stuff. He's ready to go. He's a bulldog. He was telling Rob Thompson, I'm ready to go. That is the kind of player you need to extend. That is the kind of player we need in this clubhouse because we're going to get there. We're going to get to the playoffs. When we're making roster decisions, we have to look at the makeup of the guy. Are you going to be the guy that steps up in the moment? Are you going to be the guy that comes through and delivers? Trey Turner has not been that guy, and he needs to be. Jesus Luzardo is that guy. We've extended him. I'm ecstatic. This is a great move for the Philadelphia Phillies. I think this just boosts up the morale of what has been a pretty bad offseason, but you're ending it with bringing back a guy that can quite literally compete for the National League Cy Young this year. I think he's I don't know. I think Garrett Crochet's, no, I think Scooble's the best lefty. I think Christopher Sanchez is. Then I think Garrett Crochet is. Then you really have to have that discussion about Jesus Luzardo. You really do. Take out those 2 bad starts. Look at the metrics. Look at what he's going to do in the future. Jesus Luzardo will be competing for a National League Cy Young for 5-6 years to come. Go Phils. Let me know your thoughts about the Jesus Luzardo extension. I'm ecstatic. Let's go, baby.